It's now very dangerous. In court, Ripple's CEO said that the company had won its case against the SEC, and this could be the most important event in the history of crypto. Plus, it's the most positive sign we could have hoped for. A lot of people think that the price of XRP could go up to $59,472. That's pretty cool, right? Do not miss this chance to become wealthy. Let's get right to the point, please. Nota bene. Once there was years of uncertainty, Ripple's legal fight with the SEC is finally over. This is a huge deal for XRP, Ripple coin, and the crypto world as a whole. One of the most contentious cases in the history of the industry is now over. There will be no more delays or legal wrangling. Instead, there is a settlement that strongly favors Ripple. As Steph tweeted, the court case over XRP is almost over. That tweet, which was once hopeful, is now true. The CEO of Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, confirmed to Fox Business not long ago that the SEC has decided to drop the case. The government's view on digital assets seems to be changing now that a new chair has taken over the agency. It sounds like crypto isn't just seen as a threat anymore, but as a new industry that needs to be understood, regulated, and brought together. According to Garlinghouse, Ripple had set aside $125 million to pay the possible fine. However, since the agreement is now in place, most of that money is being returned, along with the interest it made. The most important thing is that Ripple might pay the last $50 million in XRP instead of US dollars. That information, which was given by Coin Bureau, has caused a lot of debate in the business world. Could XRP become a real form of payment accepted by the US government in the future? Is it possible to save it as a digital asset? These questions are no longer on the edge. They are now a part of the real talk. Now all we have to do is wait for the SEC to make their public announcement. The lawsuit against XRP has been finally thrown out. The community has been waiting years for this day, which World summed up in a tweet: on that day, XRP will mark its new life. Also, Ripple isn't taking its time. Garlinghouse also talked about Ripple's huge $2 billion purchase of Hidden Road, which no one would have thought possible a year ago, when US authorities were publicly hostile toward all forms of cryptocurrency. Deals like that send a message. It says that Ripple is no longer playing defense, it is now building again, this time on a large scale with trust and without any more restrictions from regulators. A federal fine could even be paid in XRP, which is a very symbolic thought. It shows that Ripple has faith in its own asset, not just as a token but also as a real currency with a lot of promise. If the government agrees to take that payment, it could be a quiet but important moment in the history of US finance. The unspoken acceptance of a digital asset's value. This isn't just good news for Ripple. The business world is at a changing point. We are now moving into a new phase after years of fear, battles, and slow progress. Ripple is moving forward while the SEC is moving back. This could mean that XRP's new life has already begun. That's pretty interesting, right? But believe me, this is only the start. The SEC case against Ripple has been thrown out, and now the stage is set for something huge. XRP's price is not only going up again, it's getting ready to break out. And some crypto experts say it will be nothing less than explosive. You thought XRP's court win was big. Just wait until you see where the charts show it's going next. Don't leave yet, because what's next might blow your mind. Now that Ripple is no longer being held back by the law, XRP isn't just catching the eye of traders, it's also starting to make some of the most outrageous price predictions we've ever seen. It's hard to ignore the rise in excitement and trust around Ripple's token, whether you're an experienced investor or just keeping an eye on things. In a tweet, Jack the Rippler said, XRP to $5 this month. That's more than just hope, that's commitment. He's not the only one. It was very clear thanks to the XRP Avengers. I'm all in on XRP. Now that the legal fog has cleared, these believers are stepping up their efforts because they are sure that XRP's true potential is just starting to show itself. Another player is Oscar Ramos, who said what many holders are really thinking. This is likely to make you happy if you own XRP. Being rich with XRP is possible. How far you think this token can go will determine whether that's true or not. It's clear though that a lot of energy is flowing into the XRP community right now. It doesn't feel like a pump as much as it does like a long-awaited conclusion. The wild card comes next. The predictions that are kind of crazy and kind of crazy as well. One user named Random Crypto Pal said, "Of course we've seen similar meme-driven predictions before, but in crypto, cultural moments have a funny way of picking up the market. The fact that these kinds of numbers are being thrown around shows how strong the feeling has become. But not all forecasts come from memes. Some of them come from trustworthy places, like Forbes. A mysteriously deleted Forbes story called New Bitcoin is XRP, and it's headed to $59,472, showed up for a short time before going away. A crypto investment company is said to have backed the post, and both Google Bard and Microsoft's Bing chatbot agreed with it. The exact reason it was taken down is unknown, but both AI assistants confirmed that the piece existed, that it came out on a certain date, and that it made a shocking prediction. Bard and Bing say that the story said XRP's value could go through the roof because of growing institutional interest, wider use of RippleNet, and a positive outlook for digital payments around the world. Some doubters said the piece might have been paid for and might not have followed Forbes's editorial rules. But in crypto, where hype meets news, even a story that goes away can have a real effect. Europe, on the other hand, has already set high goals for itself. According to Crypto Geek, European financial experts have set the price of XRP at $60,000. This was a number that seemed like science fiction at first, but now it seems like a real possibility, or at least a strong rumor. Everything comes back to one thing. The story is no longer the same. XRP is no longer struggling to stay alive. It's competing to be the best. The way forward seems more clear than ever, whether it reaches $5, $50, or something even crazy. Now the question isn't, can XRP get better? It's like, how high can it go? This time the only thing that is certain is that XRP can finally reach its full potential. Right? But we haven't even begun to scratch the surface. What Ripple has been doing behind the scenes will shock you. A lot of partnerships are being formed. Ripple is also quietly getting ready to take over the banking world. Believe me, the next thing that happens is the most hopeful sign we've seen in a long time, and when you see what Ripple has planned, you'll understand why it would be terrible to miss out on XRP right now. Ripple is no longer just a show of support. It's quickly turning into the heart of a new market for money. And the key to XRP's rapid rise is that it is being used all over the world. It has always been clear to people who have been paying attention what XRP could do. It's starting to really catch on in the real world though. It's no longer just about guessing the price. It's about how XRP will completely change the way money goes around the world. Brad Garlinghouse has spoken out about what Ripple is really for. He said not long ago that Bitcoin has been a good experiment, but not for making payments. That's a very important point. Bitcoin definitely paved the way for crypto to become well known to most people. It has never really met the needs of fast scale